So today I wanted to take a step back from the clickbait videos that we normally look at, the stupid videos that we look at, just memes in general, and instead go full Shane Dawson conspiracy mode and discuss some mind-blowing theories that I've recently been thinking about. I've got 3 theories that I thought of. I'm not saying they don't exist. For all I know, there could be a whole movie based on one of these theories. What I'm saying is these things are just things that I've been thinking about. I don't know if other people have been thinking about them and have already made movies about it or posted stuff about them. This was originally going to be a stream that I was going to do on YouTube, but I still have a lagging issue that I need to fix before I start streaming. I'll talk about that at the end and hopefully some of you guys can help me. But yeah, let's get started. Now I'm going to go from least confusing theory to most confusing theory. To be honest, they're probably all going to be quite confusing, but the first one I can actually show an example. So the first one is that life loads like a video game. Think about a video game. I'm going to use Halo for an example. When you're at the start of the mission, other parts of the mission further on, like the middle and the end, they're not loaded yet because you aren't there. You're at the start of the mission, so why does the end or further parts of the mission need to be loaded? The parts that aren't loaded are just blank empty spaces. The only time they're ever going to load is when you get to those parts, which is why you never see the blank empty space, because as you're progressing, those things load as you get there. The only time you can see the blank empty spaces is if you glitch out of the game, which is what I'm going to do in my example. In the example I'm going to show, I'm going to fly the camera through the mission, but my character is actually staying at the start. So the game thinks I'm at the start of the mission, so it's not going to load anything else. And then I'm going to teleport Master Chief to the unloaded parts, and you'll notice that it loads instantly. The game is going to be like, oh shit, he's actually here now, so we're going to have to load this part of the mission. Now my theory is that this is how life works, okay? So for example, I'm in my bedroom right now, sitting in this chair. The only things that are loaded on this planet right now are my house, things that I can see out my window, but everything else on this planet isn't loaded. It's just blank empty space like you've seen in the game. The only time those blank empty spaces are going to change is when I don't know, go out my house and walk down the road. Then more things are going to load, more streets are going to load for me to walk down. Pretty much only the surrounding area where I'm at is loading. Now in a way that means that I'm the only person that actually exists. Because take for example you guys, let's say you're in America right now. Well, America isn't loaded, it's just blank empty space. It's pretty much like life is a video game and I'm the main character, and the game only loads places when you're at those places. You never see the blank empty space unless you glitch. But you can't do any real life glitches. I can't just take the camera out of my body and fly around like in Halo. Now this theory could be personalized to you yourself, meaning then even I don't exist and everyone else. They might be thinking, well, what if this theory works for everyone? So it's not just me who, you know, has things loaded, it's everyone. Well, that will make sense because that means that everyone on the planet is living right now, meaning everything on the planet is loaded. So let's say somehow everyone on this planet just somehow vanished and I'm the only one left. Maybe then things would start to deload because there's no, you know, if this theory is working for everyone and I'm the only person that now exists, then the only things that need to be loaded are for me. So that's just something I've thought about, or it's came to my mind ever since I started flying around in Halo. I don't really speak about it or anything, it's just been in my mind like, what if life works like that? Now I know there's already theories that life is a simulation or a video game. I know those theories exist. I've never looked into them. I've never actually watched videos about them, but I've seen videos recommended, people saying that life is a simulation and stuff. So I don't know if this was part of that theory, that shit loads like a video game. But if it is, then maybe there's some truth to my theory after all. I think that's all I wanted to say about that one, so let's move on to theory number 2. This one is that the future already exists. I think the easiest way to understand this is if we go back in time. Now, of course, I can't do that, so I'm just gonna pretend that I am. So let's say right now, okay, in 2018, I have a time machine right here with me, and I go back 10 years into the past to 2008. What I'm gonna see when I go to 2008 is everything that I've already seen before, because of course I've lived through 2008. I'm gonna see my 2008 version of myself and everything how it was 10 years ago. Now for them, 2008 is the furthest they've ever gone, so they don't know what happens in 2009 or after that, because the furthest they've ever gone is 2008. So they don't know anything that happens in the future, but I do, because I've been through 2009, 2010, 11, and I know what happens in those years. I know what I go through myself. So for them, they don't know it, but the future already exists, kinda, because well, I've already been through it. Now that's probably the easiest way to understand it, but what I'm trying to say is, what if we are the 2008 technically? So 2018, this is the furthest we've ever been. We don't know what happens after this. But what if someone from the future comes back to 2018? They've already lived through the future years. They already know what happens. Just like if I went back to 2008, I know everything that happens for them, but they don't. So my 2028 version could come back to 2018 and know everything that happens after that. So does the future already exist, kind of? Now, of course, 2028, time traveling isn't going to exist by then, but maybe thousands of years or hundreds of years into the future, it will. So this theory is pretty much saying that you know, I thought that was the Illuminati then. I was like, yo, I've gone too far with these theories, boys. I'm gonna have to slow down on that. I'm exposing the truth, but it's alright, it was just a bird. But what if the bird is the Illuminati? Okay, you know what? That's a theory for a different video. So yeah, what I'm saying is, does the future technically already exist? Because if someone from a time where time traveling exists come back to 2018, they know what happens because they've lived through those years. Just like how if I went back to 2008, I know what happens in their future, but they don't. So this theory is pretty much saying that anyone could come back to this time period right now, knowing everything that happens. Hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. Unfortunately, I can't really show any examples for this one like the previous and the next one. Now there is one thing that I know of that does have something similar to this, and of course there are movies that have been made about time travel, and I'm sure there's a bunch of theories about it, but the one I know of is of course Dragon Ball and Trunks. I don't know if it's exactly like what I'm picturing in my head and what I've tried to explain. In Dragon Ball Z, future Trunks comes back in time before he was even born, and he warns everyone what happens so they can prevent it, and they prevent it, and then it's sort of like one future where they prevented it, but there's already one future that's already happened where they didn't prevent it. So the futures are different. So now we're getting into parallel universes and shit, which I didn't really want to get into. You might be thinking, how does any of this make sense? And to tell you the truth, it doesn't. For the first part of it, it makes perfect sense. If I go back to 2008, none of them know what happens after that, but I do. So why can't someone from the future come back to here and know everything that happens after us? But the further you go with this theory, the less it makes sense. So I think I'm gonna leave it at that. Now the third theory isn't really a theory, it's more of like an idea for time travel. I like to call it temporary time travel. It's where you're in two different time periods at the same time. So today is Tuesday the 22nd of August. This is my main time period, so if I temporarily time travel to, let's say, tomorrow, the 22nd of August, I'm in two time periods at the same time, the 21st and the 22nd, because I'm temporarily going to the 22nd without leaving the 21st. Now you might be thinking, well, what do you see? Do you see double of everything because you're in two? You only see things and pretty much live in one of them, and that's the one that you're temporarily going to. So if I temporarily time travel to the 22nd tomorrow, I'm only gonna view things and feel things and see things in that time period, while remaining in this one, meaning people who are with me in this one are still gonna be able to see me while I'm in that one too. So for example, that might be a little hard to understand. Let's say there's a friend in my room right now called Sam, and Sam is here with me, he can see me because I'm in this time period, but then I temporarily time travel to tomorrow, still in my room and everything, still in the same place, but just a different time period, and in that time period that I'm going to, Sam isn't here anymore, and I've got a different friend over called Nathan. Nathan is going to be able to see me, he's going to be able to talk to me and everything because I'm temporarily in that time period. However, Sam and Nathan, although they're in the same place, they're not going to be able to see each other because they're in two different time periods. So Sam can still see me because I am still in the 21st, but Nathan can also see me because I'm in the 22nd at the same time. I'm in both, but those two are only in one. Now keep that in mind because I'm going to explain how things work. So let's say in my main time period right now with Sam in my room, this door is shut. Now let's say when I temporarily time travel to tomorrow where Nathan is in my room, the door in that time period, let's say it's open. If I walk through the open door in that time period, I'm going to go through it. But what Sam is going to see in the normal time period is pretty much me walking through a solid object, which is my door because it's closed in this time period. So I'm almost going to be like a ghost when I temporarily go somewhere else. So they're both going to be able to see me. Nathan and Sam, they're both going to be able to see me. But for Nathan, I'm primarily temporarily traveling to the future. Primarily. So Nathan is going to be able to see me how it would be normally. If he touched me, I'd be solid and, you know, he could actually touch me. Whereas Sam if he tried to touch me, his arm would go straight through me. And again, if I'm temporarily in a different time period and I walk through an open door, but that door is shut in the normal time period, people are going to just see me floating through a solid object. Now let's say instead of going to tomorrow, I go from the 21st of August to 4,000 years into the future. Chances are none of this house is going to be here. For Sam, who is here with me in the 21st, let's say this is all empty space in the 4,000 years into the future. He'll be seeing me walk through walls and everything because they're just not there in the one that I've traveled to. Now, the way I thought of this theory is when I was watching an Apex TV video. I forgot what the video was called, but it was like 10 people with superpowers. And in one of them, this guy just walks through a closed door. And because the door has like glass in it, you can see through and you can see him go through. And, you know, this theory wasn't in that video or anything like that. It's just something I thought about. And I know the video is probably fake, but what I was thinking of, like ways it could possibly be real. And this just came to my mind. I just thought, what if he's actually in a time period where that door's open? But for us, the door's closed, so it looks like he's just floating through it. The video being fake is more of a realistic explanation, but I wasn't thinking of realistic, alright? I was just thinking of wild theories, okay? Because I'm gonna be completely honest, this theory is fucking cool. Imagine being able to be in two different time periods at the same time. If I was on video, I'd time travel to somewhere where this door's open and just walk straight through it, and it will, to you guys, it'll look like I'm just floating through it like a ghost. Well, to you, it actually looked like it'd been edited, but in real life, seeing someone walk through a solid object like a wall would be impressive. Think of the things you could do. You could temporarily go to a different time period where the lottery numbers have been announced, and like, oh, these were the numbers for the £80 million jackpot, and then you would come back out of the temporary time travel to back before the numbers are even announced, and you just know what numbers to write. Again, I'm not sure if there's been movies made about these theories, or if other people have thought about this stuff as well and posted them online, or if popular theories like the video game theory or the life simulation thing. I've not looked at them, so I don't know if this whole deloading thing was included in that, but the first one came to my mind since I started flying around maps in Halo. Third one came to my mind when I saw that video of Apex TV where he walked through a solid door. And the second theory came to my mind after thinking too much about the third one. I know this video was a lot different to what I would normally do, but hopefully you all enjoyed it regardless. I sort of wanted to do something different to the videos that I've been doing for the longest time. My normal videos that I make aren't getting boring or anything. I'm still going to make them, but I wanted to switch it up one time. Of course, I will do more of these videos if you guys actually like them. Probably not very often because I can't just think of theories. These are just thoughts that I've been getting over time. But if you guys like this video and if I end up thinking of new theories over time, then I'll make another one. Like I said at the start of the video, this was originally supposed to be a stream. I do want to start streaming on YouTube. I think it would be really cool. I'll just be playing Halo campaign missions and talking to you guys in the live chat, just like a chill stream. So I wanted to set that up, and Uber Nick helped me set it up. I've just got a few issues. It's not smooth. I don't have an insanely powerful gaming PC. I'm not too bothered if it's not going to be HD or anything. I just want it to run smoothly, you know, and you can hear what I'm saying clearly. So if anyone knows what I can do to stop lag, because I'm doing this on YouTube, by the way, not Twitch. If any technical people out there know how to help me, then it will be very appreciated. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Definitely subscribe if you're new here, and I will see you all in my next video.